How's it going, everyone? Got a ton of huge PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game updates to go over in this video. Making the rounds right now, coming from Tom Henderson, God of War Ragnarok's length has seemingly been revealed, about what I expected. It looks like a little bit lengthier than God of War 2018. We'll talk about that. Bloomberg has a report on Sony's PSVR 2. As far as the headsets go, they're coming in early 2023, and as far as production, we'll talk about that, and I want to give you guys a heads up on a lower key PlayStation release that is coming at the end of this month. That is The Legend of Tianding, a game that came out on PC a while ago, received very well on there. We'll talk that at the end of this video. First of all, I think most of you guys are going to be interested in God of War Ragnarok. The length is said to be around 40 hours. God of War Ragnarok is around 40 hours in length, Insider Gaming has learned. It's understood that the entire experience is around 40 hours, with 20 hours needed to complete the game's main story. Sources have said that around 3.5 hours of the 20-hour experience will be cinematic scenes, with the remaining 16.5 hours for gameplay. The other 20 hours of game time is to complete all of the additional side quests, with around 19 hours dedicated to gameplay and an additional 1 hour of cinematics. Very specific time lengths with that, so obviously take it as an estimate just because everybody plays games different ways. I usually, whenever I hear like time frames for a game, I tend to usually complete games a little bit quicker. I don't know if that's because I'm rushing, but generally speaking, when I talk to my friends and we're playing the same games, we tend to complete games just slightly a bit quicker than what a lot of the lengths developers or reports will say. But obviously, I'm playing games usually at the normal difficulty settings. A lot of people are going to play games at very hard, whatever the case may be. God of War 2018 was about 20 hours in its main story length as well, from what I remember. I believe it took me like 4 5-hour sessions to beat that game. Yeah, I was a fiend with God of War 2018, but I remember being around 4 or 5-hour sessions. Like, I was playing it in 5-hour blocks, and I remember beating it in a couple days with those sessions. But nonetheless, the game also had quite a bit of replay value with a variety of additional content, and yeah, that kept people coming back a lot more with all the Valkyries and whatnot. So I would expect God of War Ragnarok to be a pretty lengthy experience as well. Kind of wild to see how much God of War has evolved from the initial releases with God of War 1, 2, and 3. If you guys remember those games were not lengthy at all. And then if you play Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, those games really weren't lengthy at all. But nonetheless, those games were pretty good, but man, God of War has definitely won me over as far as being one of my favorite PlayStation IPs since the 2018 reboot, because I like the original games. Like, I had fun with Chains of Olympus even and Ghost of Sparta, but those games to me were just never that gripping to me. Like, I had fun with them, but they would always get like 90s on Metacritic, and I never viewed those games as that. God of War 2018 absolutely viewed the game at that level, and it was a tremendous game. Ragnarok being the finale of this Norse arc that we got, which I find so surprising. I thought there was so much more we could have done. Who knows if they'll do additional content? Who knows if, you know, there's going to be some wild ending? I don't know, but it will be interesting to see how they handle the overall experience. You know, I know a lot of people wanted to see more gameplay out of God of War Ragnarok for so long, and I'm just like, why? We all know everybody's going to buy this game. Like, if you have a PlayStation platform, you're going to buy God of War Ragnarok. And my friends that are very, very much casual gamers, they're all just asking me, yo, when does God of War Ragnarok come out? Early November, right? It's not been delayed, and sometimes I'll, you know, troll them and say the game has been delayed, and seeing the reaction is kind of hilarious. But nonetheless, that just goes to show how big of a game God of War Ragnarok is. You know, Kratos is just one of those characters that resonates with just about everybody. So yeah, very excited for the game. $70 on PS5 is a little pricey, but hey, Horizon was kind of $70. The upgrade was free, but nonetheless, excited for that. Gonna be one of the biggest games of the year, and I think I'm pretty confident in saying it's gonna be one of the best games of the year. Moving on into 2023, Sony will have to look forward to PlayStation VR 2, and Bloomberg has a report citing people familiar with the matter. Mass production reportedly began in September and is yet to face supply chain constraints, though the production figure could be adjusted depending on the device's sale momentum following its launch in early 2023. They are planning to manufacture about 2 million PSVR 2 headsets by March of 23, according to the report. Sony Interactive Entertainment's current plan to launch the headset in early 23 coincides with the expected relief of the supply chain bottlenecks that have hampered availability of PlayStation 5 since its initial launch in late 2020. This would also be giving the company sufficient inventory of both headsets and consoles for a big marketing push. It'll be interesting to see how they implement the release of both, because a lot of people are going to be trying to get PlayStation 5s, I would imagine, this holiday and going into early next year. I imagine VR2 would be something that people that already own a PS5 would want to get, because I find it hard to believe that people are going to drop $500 on a PS5 and then whatever the amount for VR2 is going to be. Remember, the VR bundles, I want to say, were $400, right? When VR came out in 2016, weren't those bundles that had like everything you needed to like get going $400? And I would imagine that this is going to be at least at that price, or probably more expensive. So, you know, are you really going to want to drop 5 and 5? That's just a very, very big undertaking. However, if you're looking for a premier VR-style experience, you know, $1,000 to get a console and then also to get a VR headset that is capable of what it looks like VR2 is going to be capable of, that's not like the most egregious thing in the world. I know $1,000 on a gaming setup sounds kind of wild, but for VR and for the lengths that VR2 is going, depending on the launch lineup, because that's what's gonna determine everything. Like, are we gonna get Call of the Mountain on launch day? Are we gonna get, you know, some big budget titles with the VR2 right out the gate? That's really what's gonna determine people wanting the platform more than anything else. You know, there's some exciting games coming to the platform, but you'll need a decent roster of games overall. Lastly, I do want to note, going from things as big as God of War, VR2, want to highlight something a little bit smaller. The Legend of Tianding for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 will be coming on October 31st, and along with that, it will be coming with a new update, a free update, the Boss Rush update. Now, this game came out on Switch and PC back in November of 2021. It's a 2D beat-em-up title with a very slick art style. It's a side-scrolling action game about Tianding, the legendary Taiwanese folk hero, explore the dazzling streets of colonial Japanese Taiwan in the early 20th century. The game had an overwhelmingly positive reception with 1,900 reviews and 96% of those reviews being positive, an overall score of an 80 on Metacritic as well. So really solid reception, all things considered, as far as The Legend of Tianding. So definitely a game you should have on your radar if you're a fan of beat-em-ups, and it's going to be priced at $19.99, so a relatively good price point. Obviously, you know, come the end of this month, there's going to be a billion games to play. Call of Duty, Gotham Knights, Plague Tale Requiem, God of War early next month, Sonic Frontiers. I'm almost out of breath covering all those games. Star Ocean. So Legend of Tianding is going to be one of the smaller releases, but just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of a game like this coming out, because while it might not be a day one pickup for everyone, add it to the wish list. Maybe it'll be a plus title at some point. Maybe it'll see a steep discount rather quickly, and at that point might be worth a pickup. But that is going to do it for me. Again, God of War Ragnarok is 40 hours in length. PlayStation VR 2 scheduled to have about 2 million headsets produced by March of 2023. Hopefully some high-quality games are available as well right out the gate. And Legend of Tianding for PlayStation 5 and PS4 will be dropping on October 31st alongside a free Boss Rush update. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.